Today's reading is Arachne, an entry from the Monster Encyclopedia book series. A bug-type monster with the lower body of a spider that dwells in dark places, such as caves or deep within forest. They have a high intelligence, but most of them are lustful and belligerent. Since they have high physical abilities, they make for rather dangerous monsters. They make a sticky web inside their body and use it to form a net-like web. These webs function as traps for seizing prey. Animals and people that touch it without realizing it get stuck due to the adhesive power, and become unable to move. Of course, they aggressively attack trapped prey and other prey, seeking to wrap it in threads and properly capture it. In the case that the prey captured is a human man, they attempt to sexually assault for the purpose of procreation. It is said that these sadistic monsters obtain unbearable pleasure and happiness from the one-sided raping, and pleasuring men who can't move due to the threads when they make them gasp. That is a strangely worded sentence. Furthermore, the more a man tries to resist and the more rebellious a man is, the stronger it stimulates their sadistic nature, as their desire intensifies to give the man a rougher sexual encounter and even more intense pleasure. If caught by them, it's best to just sit there and do nothing without trying to run. That way, there's a higher likelihood of simply being released and ignored, because you are boring. If a guy strikes their fancy, they'll continue to keep him bound in their web even afterwards, and he'll have to keep being with these lustful, indulgent monsters. If a stubborn man decides not to show any reaction after ending up in this situation, then they'll give him even greater pleasure to make him moan submissively. It's all in vain once a man meekly accepts it, because the sex with her will keep growing infinitely wilder in pursuit of even greater pleasure. Their main body and threads are weak to fire. For that reason, it's possible to avoid them and their webs to a certain degree if one carries something such as a torch to burn away the webs and scare away the Arachne. Surprisingly, they're proficient in sewing, and they sometimes give clothing to men that they like. However, to them, what it means is be mine. If one accepts, he'll be bound, and he'll have to keep having sex with them as their husband, regardless of consent. The fine and beautiful clothing that they make is even regarded as first-class goods among humans, and it fetches a high price due to the danger that accompanies arachnes as well. Even among the monsters, the demand for their fine clothing is high, as there are designs that incite men's lust. Strange, and no matter how thick it is, they can still taste pleasure from being fondled over the clothing.